Madoka vs. Minoura Kota.
All right, we are ready now for our opening match. It is going to be Kota Minoura versus Madoka Kikuta here, and this is a very interesting opening match. Kota Minoura, since losing his hair to Yamato back on June 5th, has been starting over from the opening match. You know, Minoura himself, he was in the main event of this show 2 years ago. Kikuta was in the main event last year in DreamGate Championship matches. Minoura failed in his gambit against Yamato. He had been on the losing end against Yamato repeatedly in the first half of 2024. Yamato wouldn't take a singles match with him. Minoura decided he would put his hair on the line to show how serious he was, but as you can see by the top of his head, it did not pay off. 25 years old from Gifu Prefecture, the Golden Rose Prince, Kota Minoura, representing Gold Class. And Kikuta on the other side. Kikuta was the one that laid out this challenge earlier this month in Tokyo. It was about 14 months ago at Dead or Alive 2023 that Kikuta, after winning the Open the DreamGate Championship, was the one that christened the Reiwa New Generation, the 6 wrestlers that he thought would be the ones to carry DragonGate into the next 25 years. Himself, Shun Skywalker, Benkei, Strong Machine J, Yuki Yoshioka, and Kota Minoura. 24 years old from Ishikawa Prefecture, the hit bomber Madoka Kikuta, representing D Courage. Minoura in these opening matches, this starting over series that he's been going on, it's been mixed success. He's picked up some victories over opponents that you would expect him to beat, names like Punch Tominaga, names like Daiki Yanagiuchi. But he's been in there with other Reiwa New Generation wrestlers, Strong Machine J, others like Big Boss Shimizu, where he's been beaten soundly. He's gone to draws with names like Mochizuki Jr. and actually Mochizuki Jr.'s father, Masaki Mochizuki. Kikuta was backstage at all of these shows during all of these matches, and wondering what was Minoura up to. And other people have been saying the same thing. Minoura's got a singles match with Minorita coming up on August 1st in Tokyo, and that everyone is in agreement that this Kota Minoura, this very serious, this very dark, not fighting in the main events in the front lines, teaming with Gold Class, that for the sake of the company, for the sake of Gold Class, for the sake of DragonGate itself, we need Kota Minoura back on form. And Kikuta, as the one that christened the Reiwa New Generation, he carries that weight and says, look, I don't want to see you like this. The fans don't want to see you like this. So let's go fight it out. Let me see if I can remind you of who you are. So here we are. Of course, as Minoura comes out of the corner with the Bombero, takes Kikuta down, takes over the first swing of momentum here in our opening match. The opener here, there's no stigma attached to jerking the curtain or anything like that here in DragonGate. We think that match one sets the pace for the show, and it is just as important as the main event. So Kikuta himself had no problem with this match being our opener here. It's not a step down from being in the main event last year. In fact, quite the opposite. He feels like this is going to be a very good showcase of what the next 25 years of DragonGate will have to offer as he comes exploding out of the corner with that Harlem sidekick. We got new turnbuckle pads here tonight. The solid buckles here. I'm just going to bring this up now. There isn't anyone from Z-Brats in the ring now, but Ishin, Jason Lee, and other members of Z-Brats, one of their common tactics was to pull the buckle pads and expose the post, and they're not going to be able to do that anymore. So let's keep an eye on that once we get to the Z-Brats matches later on tonight. Minoura won King of Gate 2023 last year, has challenged for the DreamGate Championship 3 times now. Kikuta, the youngest Open the DreamGate champion in history, won the championship at only 22 years old last year. Youngest and the fastest, shattering both records and setting new standards that are going to be very difficult for anyone to overcome anytime soon. Minoura himself, he did have a reputation a few years back of kind of being entitled and privileged, in that if you were taking a 3D printer and asking AI to create a wrestler that you think would succeed in DragonGate, the output would look very similar to Kota Minoura. So I think because of that and the fact that he knew it, and that he would be a good signboard for the company, a good look to put on the cover of magazines, as Kikuta comes crashing down with the leg drop. Only gets a 2 count though. An opening match, by the way, 15-minute time limit. Minoura has had a couple 15-minute draws here in his opening match series. Minoura, his DreamGate Championship match here 2 years ago, he very much backdoored his way into that. And his King of Gate victory last year was seen as him finally shedding that entitled image and fighting straight up for everything and trying to earn it. But his DreamGate challenge against Kikuta himself, actually, at Dangerous Gate last year in September, was not successful. And that started the slump, really, that has led to this moment here. It was after that. The next notable moment was when Minoura and Benkei were put in a Twin Gate Championship decision match at the end of last year against Kaito Kiyomiya and Alejandro from Pro Wrestling Noah. And it was Minoura got pinned in that match, led to the Twin Gate Championships going over to Noah for 5 months. And a big chop from Kikuta. Oh, and Minoura catches him charging in. Sisha Otoshi. Repeated losses to Yamato early in the year, some key losses in tag matches, both here in Japan and during our trip to the U.S. back at the end of March, early April, culminating in the hair match on June 5th with Yamato. Led to Minoura's decision to start over, and I think if he could get a win here in Kobe World Hall over Kikuta, that might be the impetus he needs. Is there exploder suplex out of there? We used to call him 7 color suplexes. Because of all the different types of suplexes he can throw at you. Turns it in now. That's his trademark submission, the Yangranahe. Kikuta, putting it mildly, that low center of gravity and just that general lower body strength lets him do things like that. Just squat his way up as Minoura tried to roll him back in. It's going to pull him back in. Neck breaker. No, calls that once. Got lost when he told me the particulars, but that is because he is a fan of the K-pop band Twice. I guess once is what they call their fans. To get him up for a suplex, both men jockeying for positions here. Oh, and just cleans his clock at point blank with that lariat. And blasts him with the hip attack. Not enough, though. Get a replay of it. Oh. clothesline, only gets 2 as well. Kikuta wondering where the chants for Minoura are. Just standing there waiting for Minoura to get back into position. Stand up and hit me. Minoura doesn't have a lot behind those strikes. Oh, he gets floored with 1 shot. Kikuta starting to go into bully mode. We saw a little bit of this during his DreamGate reign last year, where when it became obvious he was overwhelming his opponent, he would start kicking them around. Whoa! That was a headbutt. And I think he caught Kikuta right on the chin. Kikuta catches Minoura in the chin for good measure. Get the air raid siren. Oh, no jumping knee for Minoura out of the corner. R301 plants him center of the ring. Minoura's gonna, no, he doesn't. Minoura firing up. Going for the Golden Rose. Kikuta slipped out of it. Crumpled him with a clothesline, but he went down with it. Gonna go off the ropes, try again. Jump, dodges the jumping knee. Hip attack catches him. Minoura popped up, jumping knee again. Oh, but Kikuta uses the momentum to come off the ropes, rolling lariat, and Kikuta is going to get the win. Here in our opening match at Kobe Pro Wrestling Festival. Minoura was throwing those knees out of desperation, and he left himself totally open. Kikuta was able to use the momentum coming off the ropes. See him at full force with the rolling lariat. And couldn't hear what he said, but Kikuta with some parting words for Minoura. As they're going to head backstage. If you're watching this on YouTube, thank you for joining us.